Welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United. Manchester United will be hosted by West Ham on the weekend. I think it will be on a Sunday. It's on a Sunday in the morning, at least on my end. This is not going to be a lengthy video podcast, just a preview and a few things discussed. Just some little housekeeping notes, just to keep up to date. A few afterthoughts in relation to the Champions League game in earlier this week against Young Boys. We have a few things to ask ourselves. We have a few things to cover, and most importantly, this is one of my biggest. This is the biggest thing I've been preaching about is the tactics and the style of play on the pitch. It's very questionable. We have to sort that out as soon as possible because it's not like we don't have the players to acquiesce to our systemated style of play. Basically, we have good players, but it's just that if the good players are not in an implemented system, they're going to look average and they're not going to look as effective as they would have if they had a style of play. But first, I was you guys know that with the upcoming not upcoming because he's here he's already here, so he's not coming, he's already here with CR7 Macat United. Things are not really benefiting everybody, definitely in the striking department, because Berbatov has been vocal lately and he was speaking about Cavani's with the comeback of CR7. Cavani is not going to be getting much games, and that could upset Cavani. Now, this was chronicled by the Sun, or the Mirror. I think is the Mirror, the Sun. So if you guys know, if you guys are in London, you guys are in England, you guys, you should take that with a pinch of salt because those are very questionable. The credibility of those articles is very questionable. But either way, anyway, Berbatov basically stated that as a striker, when you're coming to the, again, I'm paraphrasing, I don't have it in front of me, but he was basically saying that with a striker of Cavani standing, Cavani would be starting at most clubs. He did very well. He actually put Manchester United's the importance of the number 7 back on the map, because the previous representatives of the number 7 in previous seasons, man, they haven't been able to live up to the hype. They're just not good enough, or they just chickened out. But with Cavani actually put some certain of significance back on the number 7 last season. So Berbatov basically saying that is not a good return. I mean, if you have done well last season for Man United and CR7 just come in and just take away a number 7 that was not yours, you're just a steward. Some of you guys may not know what a steward is. A steward is a person. Okay, if I give you a piece of land, if I say to you, say, yo, I'm going to go on a 3-month vacation, I'm going to give you this land to protect, to look over, and to oversee. You didn't give the plantation or whatever, or the garden, to the person. They're watching over it while in your absence, so they're the steward, which means it doesn't necessarily belong to them. They're just in a position to watch over it. And that is what Cristiano Ronaldo, his number 7, is when it was with Cavani. Cavani was a steward in number 7. So when the owner came back, he took back the number 7. When the owner came back for his plantation, for his garden, or for his building or whatever, he came back in the position of the owner. So Cavani was a good steward for a good season. And given that Cavani is kind of on the periphery of things, mean that he's not going to start as much games as he would like. He has to, because Cavani is not new to this. This is actually happened to Cavani before, because as you guys know, when Cavani was signed to PSG in 2013, in the late summer of 2013, with Zlatan there, Cavani knew he wasn't going to be the main striker. He knew he wasn't going to be named. He played as a right winger, but sometimes, see, not to get deep into it, but there are a few times that the coach of PSG at the time, I think his name was Klopp, no, not Klopp, not Klopp. The dude that used to play for Manchester United, he was a defender and he's French. I'm forgetting. No, not Ladrop, whatever. But the point is that with Cavani was going to be the main star man or starting as a striker with Zlatan there, because Zlatan was again still in his prime, even though he was coming to the end of his time, isn't it? Because he was about 29, if not 30, and he was still gangbanging goals. Now, given that the La Liga is not as competitive, he was still getting goals here and there. So Cavani is not new to this, and even in 2017, I mean, come on, bro. When Neymar signed with PSG and Mbappe, Cavani knew he wasn't going to be the star man of the show. Zlatan left in 2016 from PSG on a free transfer to Manchester United. You see me? And he thought he was going to be the main man. Yeah, he was main man for one season. You see me? But when the transfers of Neymar and Mbappe came to United to PSG in summer of 2017, my man, he thought he would be the face of PSG, but when those signings were made, man, he knew he was going to be the face of PSG. Given that he was going to start anyway, but in terms of like penalty taking, he knew he wasn't going to be the star man. So this type of situation is not new to Cavani. Again, Cavani, not to get deep into it, but Cavani's he has to settle for his role, and he's very injury prone. So that's something we need to point out. He's very injury prone, so he's not going to play as much games, and the games that he does play, he's not going to really start all of them or play the full 90 minutes plus at a time. You see me? So Cavani, man, it's a tough time for Cavani, but this is where the managerial skills of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be brought into question and brought to the sword and tested, because when you have a side that has players in depth in certain situations, that is going to challenge how good of a manager you are. Your sense of decision making in terms of players playing in certain positions is going to be questioned. Not questioned, but basically tested. Because we have about 3 proper strikers right now. Cavani, CR7, Martial, basically forwards like Rashford, your Sancho's, your Mason Greenwood. So with all of those strikers, bro, yeah, Ole's decision making is going to be tested a bit. We are going to see, because see, it is true that we cannot make everybody happy. We cannot make everybody happy. Everybody has a role to have a role to basically do. And when you have big personalities in your camp, that is not going to sit well with other players if they know that they're good. You see me? So basically, man, this is going to test the amplitude, so to speak, of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is going to, because I mean, gold needs to be tested, man. Gold needs to go through the fire. Diamond needs to be cut to see if it's real diamond. And if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to be considered a top manager or a good manager, he has to be brought to the sword. He has to be tested. You cannot be a good manager because you used to be a good player for Manchester United. No. And even Manchester United, you weren't much of a starter. You know that. So, as a manager, your managerial coaching skills will be tested on a daily basis with those big personalities in your camp and troops. Don't expect that your camp is going to be full of rosebuds and caramel corn cakes. Yeah, corn cakes. If you guys know corn cake, yeah, it's going to be quite a troublesome camp if you have those big personalities in the squad. You see me? So don't even get me started in midfield, bro. With Pogba and Bruno and etc. Man, don't even get me started on that. So it's going to be a test of character for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in terms of decision makings. So, in wrapping up on this point, Cavani has to settle and be content with a secondary role. He knows that he's going to get games, but at the same time, he's not going to be the star man with CR7 at the club, man. Again, CR7's brand, man, supersedes any player in sports history. We think of Pele, we think of LeBron James, we think of Curry's. CR7 is way up there. So if you believe for 1 second that a nigga, some random nigga from Uruguay, that used to wear the number 7 at least for one season, is going to be the reason to be the face of Manchester United this season, then you're sadly mistaken. CR7 is back in the mix and he's back in business. So you have to go settle. You have to go settle your, as you used to say in Jamaica, you have to go settle your kettle and go step on buckle. As corny as it sounds, but you have to settle for a role, man. Another piece of news. It's funny how with CR7 back at Manchester United, former Manchester United players are becoming more vocal and more outspoken. As you guys know, well, I didn't watch the game as I told you guys, but Rio Ferdinand basically stated from Talk Sports that CR7, because he was substituted for Jesse Lingard, which was going to change the game, right? Because I saw a meme, not to get into it, I saw a meme where it said the best substitutions ever made in football history. And it had, Renato Sanchez coming off for Eder for Portugal that scored the winner in the Euros 2016 final against France, who had a better chance of winning the Euros, but Portugal came in their way and basically dismantled them in the final, especially in the extra time. Another photo it actually showed was Gotze coming on. I don't remember who he came on for, but he scored the winner in the World Cup finals against Argentina. And it showed Jesse Lingard coming on for CR7, and I'm like, that's messed up. But yeah, so Real Ferdinand was basically saying that when CR7 was substituted, CR7 did those same antics that he did in the Euros final when he was injured. He was basically on touchline composing like a composer, like when a composer is like dictating and he's saying to the choir, hey, do this. He was basically like giving out instructions like he's the manager. And Rio Ferdinand is like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm basically is the like, bro, you're a player. Yes, your brand is big. Your brand is bigger than most. Your brand is bigger than any female celebrity. We understand that. We don't have to rub it in our face. But bro, take a seat. You're a player, take a seat. Yes, you're a captain, at least on an international level. But simmer that down, man. You're a player, man. That's why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is standing up, man. He doesn't need a second man in charge, man. So I don't know why you are trying to dictate and instruct players what to do, man. That's not your role, man. That's not your calling card. What are you doing? And reference is basically saying, if I was the manager, CR7 would not be doing that, telling players what to do on the sideline. Because I would say, yo, you're a substitute. Go and go sit down. Go and go sit down. You're not supposed to be instructing. That's why I am standing. That's my role. You see me? You don't see two presidents presiding over a country. You don't see two pastors presiding over a congregation. Yes, in retrospect, you have a president and a vice president, but it's evident that the president is the main man of the show. The vice president, his claim to fame is that when the president is sick or whatever, he's going to have a say so in the president's absence. You see me? So when the president is not present, the vice president is going to have a say so. But again, bro, that's why you have coaches on the bench, man. So you don't need to have a say so on the sideline, man. Go and go sit down, man. Go and go relax yourself, man. Yeah, get ready for the next game and go and go sit down. So he's basically saying that Sir Alex Ferguson would not allow that. He would not allow, bro, go and go sit down, man. I don't care if you're Ryan Giggs. I don't care if you're George Best, I don't care if you're even Bobby Charlton. No disrespect about it. But bro, you're a player. Go and go sit down. You're not a manager. And I'll probably, if I was a betting man, which I'm not because I'm broke right now, I would say that CR7 is never going to be a manager, man. That dude is a movie star in the making. Or a movie producer in the making, or some model or whatever. So yeah, man, managerial game is not your game, man. Go and go sit down. So yeah, man. So I guess we're going to see a few of those in this season, or with the 2 years that CR7 is with us back again. Let's get into the preview after 15 minutes. Man, I'm always rambling. Yes, so we're back in the. We're going to play away to West Ham. West Ham is actually a side that is in form, and given the criticisms that Moyes has been given when he was at Manchester United as manager for eight months, he's going to prove a point. He's going to prove a point because he's had a good West Ham for the past 2 years, or almost 2 years, if not 1.5 years. Yeah, he's really re-emerged West Ham side because West Ham is known back in the day. West Ham is known for playing long balls, like hit and hoof, hoof and hope basically. They don't play decent football, but West Ham is in good form. They have a very good striker who used to be a right back, but he was transformed to a right winger, and he's transformed to a striker. And to show you how poor West Ham strikers have been for the past years, this dude has the most Premier League goals in West Ham's history. And this dude wasn't a striker back in the first place. This dude is a right back. Right back, but I guess when they saw that his performances as a right back wasn't up to par, he got back on track and changed his position and plays as a striker. So, he's re-emerged, not only his position, but he's re-emerged his career, so to speak. So Antonio is a big threat. That is a big threat. And Lindelof, man, Lindelof is not playing. I forgot that Varane was in our camp. Other a seizure moment. But Varane and Harry Maguire is going to have a big time playing, coping with the physical prowess of Antonio up top. This is me, because they're going to play up to him. And Varane is not weak. He's not a weakling. He's not a youngin, but he's going to be tested a bit. This is the Premier League run, so you have to get used to it. But Harry Maguire, yeah, they're going to play up to him. They have decent players like Lanzini, that Czech Republic midfielder, or if he are a defender or whatever. But anyway, they have decent players that can actually hurt us. And given that things are opening up, fans going back to the stadium, it can actually hurt us. So the fans is, yes, we're going to have our away fans, but our away fans is definitely going to be in the minority come on Sunday. But with Manchester United, we should not be worrying about the opposition. Yes, we can worry about how they're going to play, but at the same time, our first thing is to make sure that we have an implemented style of play, man. This is because on paper we have the best players, man, but I would not be surprised given that we don't have an implemented style of play if we get played off the park. I would not be surprised by that. And this is managed by Moyes. Moyes, that's not used to playing decent football. This is a dude. I ain't gonna get into that, but yeah, Manchester United has to it's going to be quite a troublesome game because Jesse Lingard is going to play against. That's if he plays, but he's going to come against his old side that he was on loan for. So yeah, man. But getting into the starting lineup, I would have David De Gea starting back in the goal. Right back is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who has been sent off. I found that out some days ago that he was actually sent off in the Champions League. It's kind of harsh, but yeah, Wan-Bissaka he's becoming one-dimensional in terms of his tackling technique. But yeah, man, he has to let me see something. He has to actually try to be more integrated and more dynamic into his defensive style of play of things. That tackling slight tackling affair is going to catch you out a few times, and it did on Tuesday with a slight tackle. So yeah, you have to adapt the game, bro. But I ain't gonna tell you what to do, bro. And you're playing for Manchester United, and I'm not. So at right back is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Victor Lindelof will be on the bench. Actually, was going to start him again. Man, Varane, I don't know what's up with me and Varane, man. I mean, I'm always forgetting that Varane. I just cannot believe that the dude is playing for Man United because he's a very good centre back. Varane and Harry Maguire, of course, will be starting as the centre back pairing. Luke Shaw at left back. In midfield, I believe Scott McTominay is still out with a groin injury, and Fred has one more game, I believe, before he comes back in the fold of starting. So that means Matic will be brought back into the fold of starting. Which we need experience in the base of our midfield, so I guess that's a good call. So Matic as the number 6. Danny Van de Beek is this. I have to do a video on Danny Van de Beek, man, because this is getting out of hand. Of course, Paul Pogba. Oh, Rashford is back in training, so I don't expect him to start tomorrow. But it's I have to make it clear that he's back in training, and so many guys are sorry. So this is just moot point to you, but yeah. So I would believe that Matic. I think Pogba will be starting at the left wing actually. Bruno Fernandes as number 10, of course. I'm still missing a midfielder option. Andres Perez is not going to start. Definitely not. Dan Van Beek definitely is not going to start. I don't believe Jess Lingard will be starting, plus he's not a centre midfielder. On the right wing, actually, hold up. Actually, I'm going to put Pogba back in midfield because we have Sancho. Sancho will be playing on the left wing and Mason Greenwood on the right wing, and of course, it's this the best. Some people will say the best will be CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo starting up front. So he'll be challenged somewhat a bit away from home. He's not going to have the best of home support because we are playing away. So anyway, that's my starting 11. Of course, you guys leave your starting 11s down below of who you believe will be starting. My prediction is not going to be a pretty one. I would say I believe we're going to concede, and this is my opinion, and my opinion has no say so on your opinion. So leave your opinions below in the comment section. Of course, like and subscribe to the channel and hit that post notification bell. I would say 2-1 in Manchester United's, and I think it's actually going to be a lucky 2-1 win. Yeah. I'm not going to say who's going to score first. It's me. I love football to dictate that, but yeah, 2-1 to Manchester United away to West Ham on Sunday. Comments down below, and I'll show it to you guys on Sunday to do the match reaction. Deuce.